Yo, what's up, guys? UFC 304 goes down this fucking Saturday. Holy shit. From the O2 Arena in Manchester, England. This card is absolutely ridiculous. Main event, you got Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad for the welterweight championship. And the co-main event for the heavyweight championship, Tom Aspinall, Curtis fucking Blades. This card is stacked top to bottom. You got Patty the Batty versus Bobby King Green. A lot of fucking superstars, stars in the making. Muhammad Makayev. Goddamn, I'm fucking hyped for this card, guys. Let's fucking go. Let's start from the bottom, work our way up to the top. I'm gonna break this whole thing down for you guys, give you my picks. Let's go. First fight of the night, we got Shauna Bannon versus Alice Ardeline. All right. Banyan is 5-1, 30 years old, out of Ireland. She's a minus 170 favorite here in this fight. I'm sorry, minus 180. The line has moved. She's got 2 knockouts and she has never been finished. She lost her first UFC fight by decision to Bruna Brazil. She's taken on Alice Ardeline. 32 out of Romania, plus 140 dog here, 9-5 record, 4 knockouts, 4 subs, has been submitted twice. This is her first fight in the UFC. She has fought some current UFC fighters back in the past, though. She fought Zhang Wei Li back in 2016 and got subbed. That was before both were in the UFC. So she has fought like tougher competition, but she has lost most of the time. I'm gonna go with Banyan in this one, but like I don't know a whole lot about either of these fighters. Second fight of the night, guys. We're going up to heavyweight. Mick Parkin, Lukas Brzeski. Mick Parkin is your favorite here. Minus 370 right now. Holy shit, that's moved a lot. 28 out of London. Parkin is. He's 9-0, undefeated. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage in this fight. He's got 5 knockouts, 1 submission. He's 3-0 in the UFC. All those wins were by decision, and got a submission win on Contender Series back in 2022. So he's been looking really good so far in his UFC career. Taking on Lukas Brzeski out of Poland, 32 years old, 5 knockouts, 2 submissions, been knocked out twice. He's 1-3 in his UFC career, 9-4 overall. Got a no contest on Contender Series back in 2021. He's currently coming off a decision win. I like Parkin in this fight. I like that he's undefeated. I think he's been looking really good in his UFC career so far too. I think Parkin gets the win in this one. Let's move right along. All right. Sam Patterson, Kiefer Crosby. This is at welterweight. Sam Patterson is 28 years old, out of England. Minus 475 favorite here. I'm sorry, minus 450. These fucking lines are moving. 11-2 record for Patterson. 4 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. Got a submission win on Contender Series 2022. He's 1-1 so far in his UFC career. Taking on Kiefer Crosby. 10-4 out of Ireland, 34 years old. He is a plus 325 dog. 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's been submitted twice. He lost his first UFC fight by first round sub. Crosby's all right. I like Patterson a lot in this. Just on top of the fact that he's like 1-1 in his UFC career. Dude has an 8-inch reach advantage in this one. I like everything about that. So we're going with Sam Patterson. Next up, here we fucking go, guys. I can't believe this is on the early prelims. I'm a huge Muhammad Makayev fan. I think dude is gonna take over at lightweight. Sorry, lightweight at flyweight. Like it's just gonna happen eventually. Fucking great fight though. Like this is definitely his toughest test. At flyweight, Muhammad Makayev, Manel Kopp. I love this fight. Muhammad Makayev is 23 years old, 12 and 0, undefeated. He is a minus 175 favorite in this fight. 6 and 0 in his UFC career, two knockouts, six submissions, coming off a decision win over Alex Perez. And Alex Perez is no fucking joke. Now that wasn't an easy win for Makayev, but he grinded that shit out. I mean, Makayev is, in my opinion, one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC right now. I'm fucking super excited to see, where he ends up. This flyweight division, we got some monsters coming up the ranks right now. Tatsuro Taira and Makayev are two of those fucking guys. I'd love to see them go at it, but I almost like to see one of them get the belt first so they can fight for the belt undefeated. That would be ridiculous. But to get there, Muhammad Makayev has to get past Manal Kopp. And Kopp is no joke. 30 years old out of Angola, 7 years older than Makayev. 19-6 record for Kopp. 11 knockouts, 5 submissions, has been submitted twice. I don't like that against a guy like Makayev. That's what he loves to do. Kopp is on a 4-fight win streak, and he's been hot. Like this win streak for Kopp has been fucking legit. He's got some really nice wins on here, a lot of knockouts. He's been looking really fucking good lately, and this fight's really going to test how good Makayev is on the feet and how he can handle a good striker. He does have Makayev does have a 2-inch reach advantage in the fight, so that is for sure going to come into play. We're going to see a lot of takedowns. If Kopp can defend the takedowns, he can have a good shot. I got to go with Makayev. The dude is just such a fucking monster. Like I see nothing but the dude winning a belt. That I we'll see what happens when he fights the absolute best. But man, dude, dude is gunning for a title shot. I'm going with Makayev in that one, but fuck, great fight. I can't wait for that one. That's one that I feel really good about Makayev, but at the same time, like those usually when you feel really good about someone, that's the one where they get fucked up in. That's one where they lose. But I gotta go behind Makayev. Next up, we move to welterweight. Oban Elliott, Preston Parsons. Oban Elliott is 26 years old out of Wales. 10-2 record, two knockouts, three submissions, has been knocked out twice, got a win on Contender Series back in 2023, and is 1-0 so far in his UFC career. Um, I mean, not a whole lot to say other than like looks pretty good so far. We still don't know where this guy's at, but you know, has looked pretty badass thus far in his career. Let me see, plus 125 dog in this fight, which I thought was interesting. Taking on Preston Parsons, 11-4, 29 years old out of Florida, 3 years older than Elliott. Doesn't have any knockouts, nine subs. Has been knocked out twice, has been submitted once. He's 2-2 in his UFC career so far, and he's coming off a decision win over Matthew Semmelsberger. Preston Parsons is legit. Um, Against a guy like Oban Elliott, like Oban Elliott's been knocked out, he's never been subbed. Both these guys have been knocked out. I just like Oban Elliott more because he's more well rounded. He's got more striking going on. Um, and I like that he's one. I like that he's undefeated so far in his UFC career. But this is one that could kind of go either way. It's not a crapshoot, but like I don't know either fighter great. I've seen fights from both. I'm just not sure how well they're gonna match up. But I like Oban Elliott in this one. Let's keep rocking. Another one that's kind of a little bit of a head scratcher for me. I think we're gonna get a good fight, but it's like, I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. Modestas Bukauskas, Marcin Prachnio. I like Prachnio in this fight, but it's one like I said, I could see it going either way. Prachnio is a plus 125 dog. Bukauskas is minus 150. Also, 4-inch reach advantage for Bukauskas, which is significant. Um, but I like this fight a lot. Let's break it down. Bukauskas is 30 out of Lithuania, 15-6 record, 9 knockouts, 2 submissions, 4 knockout losses, 1 submission loss, and one of those knockout losses was a knee injury. So like, it's kind of that's an iffy one, but still, he has been knocked out a bunch. Coming off a knockout loss to Vitor Petrino. Vitor Petrino hits hard. I never. It's tough to bet on a guy coming off a knockout loss, but Bukauskas is fucking solid. He's taking on Marcin Proknio out of Poland. Proknio is 6 years older than Bukauskas. He's 36. 17-7 record, 11 knockouts, 1 submission loss, 4 knockout losses, 4-5 in his UFC career. Coming off a decision win over Devin Clark. Proknio, I think, is better than his record shows. He had a tough start to his UFC career, but he's solid. He has been knocked out a few times, which I'm not a huge fan of. He's a plus 125 dog here. I think he has a good shot. Maybe I'm biased because I like the dude, but I think he gets it done here. Bukauskas had a nasty leg and knee injury a few years ago, and he's looked solid since then. But I just haven't seen him looking as good as he did before then. All right. Next we got bantamweight Kauflin Loughran versus Jake Hadley. I know I butchered that name. I apologize. Um, Loughran is 28 out of Ireland, 9-1 record, 5 knockouts, 2 subs, never been finished. Neither of these guys has ever been finished, which makes me excited. I think we definitely could see a finish in this one too. Loughran's 1-1, coming off a decision win. The 1-1 in the UFC, coming off a decision win. Let's break down Hadley. Hadley's 27, 1 year younger than Loughran, out of England. This is another Ireland versus England matchup. 3 knockouts, 5 submissions, and again, Hadley's never been finished. Got a submission win on Contender Series back in 2021, and he's 2-3 so far in his UFC career. I like Hadley just because he's had more experience. I think both guys are solid. I think we're gonna see a brawl, and I really think it could be just a toss up, not a toss up, but like I don't know. I have a feeling someone's going night night. Neither guy's ever been finished, but I don't know. I think we're gonna see a lot of crazy shots, and we could turn into a war. But I have a feeling someone's getting finished. My pick is Hadley. Hadley's a plus 175 dog. I don't know. I like what I've seen from him. Uh, I think he's had some close losses that didn't look great in, but if I think if he learns from him, I think he could. I think he can has what it takes to be a top UFC guy. Loughran, he's good. I haven't seen enough from him yet. All right, moving on to Meatball. Molly McCann versus Bruna Brazil. This is at women's strawweight. Molly Meatball McCann, 34 out of England. She is a minus 360 favorite here. 6 knockouts, 1 submission, 3 submission losses. Molly has never been KO'd. She's coming off of round 1 submission win. She's 7-5 in her UFC career. Molly's awesome. She's on. She's a little bit of an up and down fighter. She's not super consistent. They tend to give her good matchups for these at home fights in England. I like her a lot. She's awesome. She's taking on Bruna Brazil, 30 years old out of Brazil, plus 270 dog here. Also, she has a 3.5-inch reach advantage, Brazil. So keep that in mind, guys. That is significant. 3 knockouts, 2 submissions. Bruna Brazil has been knocked out 3 times, which I don't love. She got a KO win on Contender Series back in 2022. She's 1-2 in her UFC career. She's coming off a decision loss. I like everything about Molly in this one. She's got more UFC experience. It's a big stage that she's been on before. It's a crowd that's going to be on her side. she's got those 6 knockouts, and she's going against someone that's been knocked out 3 times. I like those things kind of line up. Now, I am a little worried about maybe her being submitted by Brazil. Bruno Brazil does have 2 submission wins, but I'm gonna go with Molly Meatball. Next up, we got Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda. Wood is 30 out of England. He's a minus 450 favorite. 19-6 record, 7-3 in his UFC career, 8 knockouts, 5 submissions, 2 knockout losses, 2 submission losses in his career, coming off of a decision loss to Muhammadov Naimov. Uh, Nathaniel Wood's solid. I really like his striking. I, I don't love that he's been knocked out twice, but he's going against a guy that's been knocked out 3 times, so I don't feel as bad about it. Um, Wood's solid. He's got some good wins. He doesn't beat the top tier guys, but I don't know. He's had some tough, like he's gone against some tough guys, but he's fucking good. Uh, Coming off a decision loss, but I think he's gonna bounce back in this one. He's taking on Daniel Pineda out of Texas. Pineda is 38 years old, 8 years older than Wood. 9 knockouts, 19 submissions for Pineda. Holy shit! He's been knocked out 3 times. He's been submitted 6 times. He's 2-2-1 in his UFC career, and he's coming off a decision loss to Alex Caceres. 28 and 15, 28 and 15 record overall. Dude has a lot of fights. Pineda's legit. I'm just not sure if he's still on that high level. 38's a little up there. Um, Dude's solid though. 9 knockouts, 19 subs is fucking ridiculous. He could definitely get this win here. I'm gonna go with Nathaniel Wood, but at plus 325, like Pineda is not a bad pick. Like he definitely has a chance here. That dude has a fucking lot of finishes. But yeah, I'm going with Nathaniel Wood, but this one's kind of this one was one of the ones that made me kind of scratch my head a little bit. There's multiple signs that made me think I like Nathaniel Wood more, but definitely could see it going either way. There's a lot I like about Pineda too. That was a tough one. This one I like a lot. Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze. This is a fucking ridiculous lightweight matchup. Oh, this is featherweight. What am I talking about? Featherweight matchup. Arnold Allen, 30 years old, out of England, 19-3 record. He's a minus 235 favorite here. 7 knockouts, 4 submissions. Arnold Allen has never been finished. He's on a 2 fight losing streak right now, but those 2 losses are to high level guys. One was Max Holloway. I forget the other one off the top of my head now. But Arnold Allen, like, he's legit and he's looking for a big win. He needs one. He does not want to go on a 3 fight losing streak. Um, he's got he was on a 10 fight winning streak. Then he loses 2 in a row. I really think he bounces back, but this is not an easy one. Um, Giga Chikadze, 15-3. Plus 190 dog. Fighting out of Georgia, 35 years old, 5 years older than Allen. 9 KOs, 1 sub, 1 submission loss, never been KO'd. Got submitted on Contender Series Season 2. Lost. Then got in the UFC, and he's gone 8-1 in his UFC career. Giga's a kind of a head scratcher. I like him a lot. There's times where I think he's going to be a boss, and he has a lot of wins, so he's obviously good. But some of the really big fights that he's had, he didn't come to play where I thought he was going to. I I I like Arnold Allen in this one, but I don't know. This one's a kind of a head scratcher. I think both guys are legit. I think we see a war here. I think we see like a really good fight. Neither guy's ever been knocked out. Uh, Allen's never been finished straight up. Giga's been submitted once. I I could see Arnold Allen getting a submission here. I just think he's a little bit more well rounded, but I think Giga Chikadze is probably the better striker. I don't know. It's a great fight. I really like it. I'm gonna go with Arnold Allen, but again, very tough one for me to pick. I think it's gonna be a fucking great fight. Next up, middleweight, Christian Leroy Duncan, Gregory Rodriguez. Man, I fucking love it when RoboCop fights. RoboCop does not have uh boring fights. He's a fucking beast. This is a great one. All right, Duncan is 29 out of England, minus 130 favorite, so the line's kind of getting closer on this one. 10-1 record for Duncan, 8 knockouts, 1 submission, never been finished. 2 fight winning streak, 3-1 in his UFC career. I mean, Duncan's a boss. He's got some good wins, never been finished. Um, 2 fight streak right now. Like, there's a lot to like about him. But goddamn, Gregory Rodriguez, guys, 32 out of Brazil, 3 years older than Duncan. 15-5 record, 10 knockouts, 3 submissions. Has been knocked out 3 times. Got knocked out on Contender Series 2020. 6-2 in his UFC career. He's on a 2 fight winning streak right now, guys, and they were both knockouts. I am a big fan of RoboCop. He does get knocked out. This is a guy that can knock him out. I think RoboCop gets it done, but again, I'm biased. He does have a 4-inch reach advantage, 4-inch reach disadvantage in this one. Um, I think my brain tells me Duncan, but my heart goes RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez. So I'm going with the dog here, Gregory Rodriguez at plus 110. But again, this one's like I could definitely see this going either way. The fact that Rodriguez has 3 knockout losses and Duncan's never been finished, like that's not a great pick, but I'll go with my heart on this one. Next up, guys, we're getting into the good ones. I mean, these ones I'm talking about now are all good, but now we're getting into the fucking really spicy shit. King Green, Paddy Pimblett. Bobby Green officially changed his name to King. No more Bobby King, just straight up King. 32-15 for Bobby Green. I'm sorry, King Green. 37 years old out of Cali. A lot. He's 9 years older than Paddy. I'm sorry, 8 years older than Paddy Pimblett. A lot more experience, but that a little bit slower. I don't know. There's a lot that I like about Paddy in this one. Um, but Bobby's man, that fight Bobby had against Jim Miller, like he's a beast. He's got 11 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out 5 times. He's been submitted twice. Don't love that. He's coming off of UFC a ridiculous UFC 300 win over Jim Miller. Yeah, there's a lot to like about Bobby Green in this fight, but man, there's just Paddy. Like they don't. The UFC is giving Paddy like favorable matchups as much as they can. He's gonna have a really tough time when he starts getting close to the top 10. This is a great fight. I like Paddy though. Paddy's got 6 knockouts, 9 subs. He's been submitted once, but he's never been KO'd. 5-0 in his UFC career, coming off a decision win over Tony. Like I said, he's 7 years younger than Bobby Green, and he also has a 2-inch reach advantage. Paddy's just fucking doing it right now. He's a beast. I am worried about like I saw he was having some like mental issues a little bit going into this one, and he was kind of depressed, I think, and not training well early on in the camp, and that kind of that makes me like a little worried about it, but I think he gets it done here. And this fight is completely even right now. The odds are minus 110 all. I'm leaning Paddy. I could definitely see Bobby Green getting it done though. Really good fight. I cannot fucking wait for this one. This is one of the ones I'm really, really hyped for. Okie dokie. Next up, we got Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades at heavyweight. This is for the heavyweight title. Man, Aspinall's minus 400 right now. Curtis Blades plus 300. Man, this is a good one. I'm really hyped for this fight. All right. Aspinall's 31 out of England, 14-3 record, 11 knockouts, 3 submissions, has been knocked out once, has been submitted once each. 7-1 in the UFC. Only UFC loss was to Curtis Blades, who he's fighting. He's on a 2-fight win streak right now. Both of those wins were round one knockouts. I mean, Aspinall is the guy. Like he's the UFC, what the UFC wants at heavyweight. He's the push. He's the face of the heavyweight division, and I mean, he's got great boxing. Yeah, just ridiculous stand up overall. Um, but he's going against the guy that's beating him, and now it was beating him due to knee injury. But it's a win is a win, and I don't know. There's a lot I like about Curtis Blades in this fight. Curtis Blades is 33 years old, out of Chicago, Illinois. He's a plus 300 dog. Man, that is a lot. $10 wins you 30. That's fucking crazy. 100 wins you 300. Like, goddamn. That's a really interesting. It's interesting that he's that big of a dog after getting a win over Aspinall. Um, 13 knockouts for Curtis Blades. Also, he's only 2 years older than Aspinall. Like, there's not a big age difference. Like, I would think that Aspinall was younger, but no, Blades is only 2 years older. Blades has been in the UFC quite a bit longer as well. 13 knockouts, 4 knockout losses for Curtis Blades. I don't love that. Um, Coming off a knockout win over Jailton Almeida. 13-3 in his UFC career. 8 knockouts in the UFC. 8 knockout wins in the UFC. That's fucking ridiculous. First fight in the UFC, he got knocked out by Ngannou. I want to say that was like 2016. But I'm a big fan of Blades. I don't love that he's been knocked out 4 times. Aspinall's only been knocked out once, and it's not like, it wasn't like a real knockout. It was due to a leg injury. Um, I don't know. I like Blades. I like his wrestling. This is not an easy matchup for Aspinall. Blades has a reach advantage. It's not a lot, but 2 inches is something. I just think Aspinall is the bigger guy a lot of the time. He's a little bit taller, but I just like Blades a lot. He's he just gets shit done. Great fighter. Aspinall is a way better striker, I think. I don't know. This is another head scratcher for me, but again, my brain on this one is telling me Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades won the first fight. It was by knee injury, but it was, knee injury from kicks and shit from Blades. I gotta go Curtis Blades in this one. But again, now that I said that, Aspinall's probably gonna sleep him in the first round. But I'm going Curtis Blades. We'll see what happens. And then for our main event, guys, holy shit. Now this one I'm really hyped for. Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad. All right, let's break it down. Leon Rocky Edwards, 32, out of London, England. 7 knockouts, 3 subs, never been finished. 12-fight winning streak, 14-2 in his UFC career. I mean, absolute beast, ridiculous striker, puts a pace on people that most people cannot keep up with. Just high volume striker, picks you apart, but also has the knockout power. Just really exciting fighter at the top of his game right now. Um, yeah, fucking ridiculous. Taking on Bilal Muhammad, 36 out of Chicago. Bilal's a plus 205 dog. 23-3 record, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. He's on a 9-fight winning streak right now. 17 decision wins, 14-3 in his UFC career. That only knockout loss was to the Vicente Luque. I forget when that was, but I'm guessing like 2017, but it might have even been before that. Both these guys have been in the UFC for a long ass time. Both guys are veterans. Both guys are beasts at what they do. They're specialists. Bilal Muhammad is a little bit older. He's 4 years older than Edwards. Edwards has a 2 inch reach advantage over Bilal. There's a few little things that favor Edwards in this one. Bilal is at the top of his game. He's in insane fucking shape right now. And one thing that I've learned about UFC and my watching it, like elite wrestling at the wrestling at the absolute highest level usually beats out everything else. It usually wins out. Not always, but most of the time. Because of that, I'm going with Bilal Muhammad. Now, this is crazy, but I am going with the underdogs in both of the co-main and main event, and they're both sizable underdogs. Blades plus 300, Bilal plus 205. I don't feel great about that. I mean, I feel like it's a low chance they both win. But man, I really feel good about Bilal Muhammad. We'll see what the fuck happens on Saturday. But man, this is going to be an interesting one. Bilal's a little bit shorter, has a little bit of a reach disadvantage, but man, his wrestling is so good. It's really all going to come down to if Leon Edwards can stuff the takedowns, if he can keep Bilal striking. I feel like it's going to be a tough fight for Bilal. They did fight once before. It ended by accidental eye poke. It was one of those fights too. It was kind of like I don't know what's gonna happen. I really wish we could have seen the rest of that because and we will Saturday because it was such an interesting fight. Like you didn't really know who was gonna have the upper hand. Leon definitely was coming out stronger early, but Bilal is an interesting fighter. He figures shit out as he goes. He's great with his fucking takedowns. Bilal is like not talked about enough as a great fighter, but I'm a huge fan of Bilal. I am biased in this one. I just really think Bilal Muhammad's a fucking beast. We'll see what happens, but I'm going with the dog in this one. I will be streaming, guys, on Twitch and Kick, Death Slayer 1964 for the entire card. I'll be watching it, reacting to it, probably playing some games for a little bit of it. I am so hyped. I cannot fucking wait for this card. It's absolutely ridiculous. Fucking stacked top to bottom. I mean, Muhammad Makayev, Paddy Pimblett versus uh, Bobby Green, Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze. This card really is fucking something. The matchups. There's a lot of matchups that make me go, holy fuck! I can't wait. Can't wait to see that. And also, like, what the fuck? I don't. There's a lot that I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I'm super excited to see it. Let's fucking go. See you guys Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Death Slayer 1964. Peace and love, everybody. Let's fucking go.